To be financially literate, you must understand how to manage your finances. This entails learning how to manage your finances, including how to pay your bills, borrow and save money wisely, and invest and prepare for retirement. Start with the fundamentals of money management and work your way up to become a wiser spender by taking the initiative to self-educate and expand your financial knowledge. Investing time in your financial development will help you make better savings and investment decisions. You may build a long-term nest egg by utilizing factors such as age, talent, money, and the capacity to form healthy habits. With that said, financial literacy consists of several financial components and skills that allow an individual to gain knowledge regarding the effective management of money and debt. In this video, we'll be talking about what financial literacy is, fundamental components, and some personal finance basics. Let's get into it. What is financial literacy? Money management is a personal talent that will benefit you for the rest of your life, yet it is not something that everyone learns. It's difficult to keep track of money pouring in and out, due dates, finance charges, and fees linked to invoices and bills, and the overall burden of consistently making the proper decisions about important purchases and investments. Because the stakes are so great, you'd think this would be a skill taught in high school or even before, yet it isn't. Personal finance management necessitates a basic understanding of personal credit and a willingness to accept personal accountability. That is, you pay your bills on time and you don't get into debt. You understand that in order to achieve long-term goals, you must sometimes sacrifice immediate needs and ambitions. You budget, you save, and you keep your money safe. You spend wisely when you spend. When you make large purchases, you want to make sure they're worthwhile. You are aware of the distinction between good and bad debt. You also keep a close eye on your whole portfolio, which includes your wages, savings, and investments. You also recognize what you don't know and seek assistance when necessary. To be financially literate, you must be able to avoid letting money, or the lack thereof, get in the way of your pleasure as you work hard to achieve the American ideal of a long and happy retirement. Next up, let's talk about the fundamental components of financial literacy. Earn, understanding your paycheck. The amount you're paid for, the current paycheck, it's weekly, bi-monthly, twice monthly, or monthly, is usually the first figure on your pay stub and the easiest to comprehend. What appears in this area will vary depending on your employer's payroll software and how the pay stubs are set up. But there are usually 3 figures to keep an eye on. Gross earnings. This is the amount you are paid before any taxes or deductions are taken out. YTD gross. YTD stands for year to date and is a cumulative figure that reflects everything you have been paid since the start of the year. And net pay. This is why most people look at their paycheck. It's the amount that you will actually receive with this paycheck. A separate chunk of your paycheck is dedicated to the taxes you've paid. Because of the many taxes that different persons must pay, this is often the most difficult component of a pay stub. For the US, here are 3 types of taxes that will appear on your pay stub in general. Federal income taxes, state and local taxes or SALT, and Federal Insurance Contributions Act or FICA. In addition to the taxes you pay, most paychecks have a variety of extra deductions that will affect your take-home pay. First is insurance. If you have insurance provided by your employer, your insurance contributions will show up on each pay stub. Health savings accounts are also contributions that show up in your pay. As well as retirement savings plan, when you sign up for a retirement plan, you must decide how much of your pre-tax income you want to put into it. This sum is withheld from your pay as well. Spend, creating a personal budget. A personal budget is nothing more than a plan for how you want to spend your money, yet it's the most effective instrument for accomplishing your financial objectives. In doing so, the first thing you have to do is create a monthly budget, which is a strategy for balancing your income and expenses in order to meet your long-term financial objectives. When you make a personal budget, you divide your monthly expenses into areas that will help you better understand your spending habits and how to change them to achieve your objectives. A budget is a summary of all your revenues, salary, potentially a side job, and investment money. The purpose of a budget is to lay everything out in front of you so you can see where your money is going and make changes if you aren't on track to meet your goals. One technique to examine your present cash flow as a novice is to use the common 50-20-30 budgeting framework, which states that you should spend 50% of your after-tax incomes on necessities such as rent, mortgage, food, and auto payments, 30% on additional needs such as phone and streaming services as well as likes and wants, The remaining 20% should be set apart for savings, increasing over time. Save, determining your financial goals. Everyone understands the importance of saving money, but without particular financial goals to work toward, it can be difficult to spend less than you make. Therefore, you must first make short-term and long-term goals. Your financial objectives will vary depending on your circumstances, but they should contain the following. Number 1. Putting money aside for a rainy day. Setting money away in an emergency fund will provide you with peace of mind while also preventing a financial setback from taking over your life. An emergency fund should contain at least 3 months' worth of essential living expenditures according to financial experts. Number 2. Making preparations for retirement. The sooner you start investing for retirement, the better, say experts. Most financial advisors recommend putting aside at least 10% of your monthly take-home income in a 401k, IRA, or both for retirement savings. Number 3. Putting money aside for a big purchase. Whether you're saving for a car, a house, or graduate school, the earlier you start, the less you'll have to save each month. Number 4. Personal debts are being paid off. Most people are in debt, whether it's student loans, credit card debt, or a combination of the two. Examine your low interest rates. Paying off your loans on time or ahead of schedule can save you thousands of dollars in interest. Borrow, credit cards, loans, and your credit score. Even if you are a careful saver, you may need to borrow money to meet a significant purchase such as a home or automobile at some point. Perhaps you borrowed money in college and are now saddled with student loans or credit card debt. Borrowing isn't always a terrible thing, as long as you know how to compare loans and keep your credit score in good shape. When comparing loans and credit cards, the APR or annual percentage rate is the most important factor to consider. The annual percentage rate considers both the interest rate and the fees to offer you a more accurate estimate of how much interest you'll pay each year. You'll pay less interest over time if you have a low APR, but how do you get one? In general, the better your credit score is, the lower your interest rate will be. If you've experienced financial issues in the past, you may find yourself trapped in a vicious cycle in which all your money is used to pay off interest. As a result, one of the most crucial steps toward financial literacy is to establish a good credit. Maintaining a credit card balance is one of the simplest ways to accumulate debt, but picking the correct credit card and wisely using it can actually help you improve your credit score. Protect, preventing fraud and buying insurance. Take time to consider your own habits. Do you delete spam emails? Do you keep your social security number in a secure location? Do you shred your receipts and statements before throwing them away? It's critical to safeguard the money you've earned once you've established a strong budget and investment strategy. This includes checking your bank accounts and credit card records for errors or strange behaviors on a regular basis, keeping documents and passwords secure to avoid scams and identity theft, and purchasing adequate insurance to protect yourself in the event of an emergency. Here are some tips and prevention methods to live by to avoid yourself getting fraud. Number 1. Safeguard your social security number. Number 2. Protect your other personal information. Number 3. Review your credit reports. Number 4. Buy a good shredder and use it. Number 5. Reduce your exposure to mail theft. Number 6. Practice computer and internet safety. Number 7. Be cautious at ATMs. Number 8. Opt out sharing your information. Financial literacy can assist people in avoiding poor financial decisions, becoming self-sufficient, and achieving financial stability. Learning how to construct a budget, track spending, pay off debt, and prepare for retirement are all important steps in achieving financial literacy. Learning how money works, making and accomplishing financial objectives, becoming aware of unethical, discriminatory financial practices, and managing the challenges that life throws at you are all part of educating yourself on these matters. That's it for today. See you next time.